oil. Been a while since I make a video, and I did have a post out like 3 months ago. Said make 9/11 video tomorrow, so it's after tomorrow. 9/11. Well, I've never been a fan of conspiracy theories about that. 9/11 itself had somewhat affected me since I was a kidder. Well, I'll probably make 2 or 3 videos about it, but I have been to New York City a couple of times, each time visiting 9/11 Museum. And at a glance, I'd say if anyone were able to afford, let's say in America go there, it's like 30 odd dollars ish. Well, unless your family member were killed in 9/11, it's free, kind of, but it's like 9/11's always been powerful for me. 9/11, I'd never been to America at that point when it happened, but seen the videos since about it, people's reactions and actually being there is incredibly insane, incredibly sad, and I'll probably talking a bit about why the official narrative, it's the truth really, about 9/11 were that it were not just this, elites of America planning against its own people. It were just as it was told. They were just Islamic fundamentalists, Sunni terrorists who did what they did, and it's like, it has always affected me, because I was only a kid when I heard about it, and at the age I was almost 10 years old then. I've been to America, I've been to New York City a couple of times. I'll talk a bit more about that. But yeah, 9/11. Oh, that's golf next to me. Fucking 9/11. It's not easy to. It's not easy to relate to when you're this side of the Atlantic. But going to New York City, you see the scale of the place, the size of it, and you do feel like, the victims are people like me. You do a job, you do it, and that happens. But there's a lot about it that quite a few people have covered. There's some iceberg videos by Ramtro Studios. It's called Ramtro. I do like his videos. A couple of iceberg videos. He did some mistakes, but I can cover that in a bit. Because it's less about his simple idea that terrorists crash planes into towers, people died. That's a simple way of putting it. It affected American foreign policy, but it's like it's a lot to it. I would like to get into at some point. I mean, at the moment, I just left work again. I always work, fucking hell. I went to New York City earlier this year. Went back to 9/11 Museum. And 9/11 Museum, whenever I visit New York City, is important for me because it, even 3,000 miles away as a child, seeing it repeated on the news, it's always affected how I see the world. How I'm sure a lot of other people thinking these enemies from within can sneak up and do insane, intense attacks against what you find comforting, which is your own country. And it's like, it makes me think, what are human stories beyond it? Because most of what you hear about 9/11, that's news. Documentary sometimes. I've seen the odd, that's cool. I've seen the odd, YouTuber talk about it in some detail, but it's like being there, it trains you. And in terms of the museum itself, which I can also talk in detail about, the museum itself I've been to twice. Once 8 years ago, 9 years ago now probably. Oh, sorry. And last time I went to was this June. And the thing there, it's the size of the place. When you go to where the World Trade Center Memorial Museum is, which I when you go to the actual area itself, it's very large, two giant pools, either size of the whole complex. You see all them giant buildings around it. You never think that people used to work in a couple of massive towers. You see the pools and you think they're just memorials, but no, they encompass the whole, like, two major buildings complex. But if you listen to conspiracy theorists, obviously not the silly ones like laser beams and bollocks like that, but insiders, demolition, crap like that. It's like you just need to go to the place and just see the aftermath 20 odd years later. Massive granite pools, names of everyone. You can see that. I can imagine two giant buildings, they don't need much to happen because the buildings were not built the best. I mean, Fujita, what's his name? I forgot the guy, the Japanese guy who built them, but he built them more for his claustrophobia, which I ain't blaming him, but I'm not sure anyone expected massive planes to hit him, which were relatively big for a time. Now say, no, it wasn't a demolition. I'll discuss it in a bit later, really, but I mean, I don't promise much. I mean, I've been losing subscribers. I don't care, really. I mean, I try to engage where I can, but line never and there are very important to me, really. It's always affected me. I'll see you later then.